I struggle to be social. I actually like most people well enough, but showing up is hard sometimes, and committing to show up is really hard for me. I'm good at making excuses, like my favorite mug says, Namaste home with my dog. So, why would I be so excited to tell you about my group camping trip with 11 other people and 5 dogs? Because it was the wake up call this would be hermit really needed. I'm Deb. I retired a couple of months ago, and now I'm documenting my journey through this new chapter of life. Last week, I was feeling a little down. Nothing bad had happened. I had just fallen into my habit of staying home too much. Too comfortable just puttering around my house, working on little projects, walking my dogs, and maybe chatting with a friend or neighbor, but otherwise letting my world get pretty small. I think that's why I was feeling down and kind of stuck, kind of isolated. Lucky for me, almost a year ago, a dear friend who loves to RV camp and loves to build community organized this big camping trip with 6 couples and 5 dogs. I love dogs, so the 5 dogs part sounded just great. But 6 couples, half of whom I barely knew, that's a little anxiety producing. But we really like my friend, so we committed to this trip almost a year ago. The trip was on the calendar. We paid the non-refundable campground reservation and the non-refundable RV rental, so we were going. Even though last week I was feeling a little down and the forecast was not that great with rain and cold weather, thankfully for me, not showing up was really not an option. So again, for me, that hard part, the commitment part to show up was done. So how did it go? I had never driven an RV before, and I let myself get a little nervous about it, thinking about what could happen, would we wreck, and would we get our money back? It wasn't a huge RV, it was just 25 feet, kind of like a little bigger van. But it was this unfamiliar vehicle, up and down a windy mountain pass. Then I realized, wait a minute, when I was younger, I wouldn't have thought twice about driving an RV. In fact, I didn't think twice about renting a big U-Haul truck and driving it halfway across the country. I just did it. I figured it out. It was like an adventure, like bring it on. That was then, and this is now. At 60, I'm nervous about driving this very comfortable and well-appointed Mercedes RV. Like, what the heck? When did I become that person? I'm 60. I'm not 90. I can do this. But where did my confidence go? Why have I become more hesitant about unfamiliar things as I've gotten older? Seems like it would be the reverse. I mean, is that why older folks stop driving at night or on the highway? Is that going to become me? If it's a safety thing, I get it. I mean, safety is so important and key, and you need to know when you need to set limits. But if it's just because I've quit challenging myself to do new and hard things, then that is not okay. I do not want unnecessary caution or unnecessary fear to become yet another way that my world gets smaller as I get older. Okay, back to the trip. It was delightful. We ate meals together, we hiked, we went horseback riding, we sang and enjoyed music together, and we visited. I don't think we hear that word enough, do we? Visiting without your phone, just sitting around, talking to one another, connecting and sharing. It's special. Okay, but in full transparency, I will admit that at one point I could feel myself getting a little overwhelmed by all the people and activity. So I went off by myself to tidy up the RV, just a little time alone. I'm actually pretty sure some of the other folks did the same thing, and that's okay. There is a difference between needing a little solitude and becoming isolated. I'm still an introvert. I still need some time by myself, but I need connection to people too. Socialization used to be built into so much more of my life with work, with kids' school activities. Now, if I want meaningful connections with other people, it's probably not just going to happen organically. I have to make those interactions happen. I have to say yes sometimes, even though my first instinct is to say, nah, I'm going to stay home with my dog. I may have to go to events where I don't know everybody. And sometimes I may have to commit to doing something months before I know whether I'll feel like actually doing it on that day. Because there's a difference between just saying something is important to me and actually designing a life that includes what's important to me. You know, if someone had come to me last week when I was feeling down and said, you know what you need? You need to organize a camping trip with 11 other people, rent an RV, drive several hours through a windy mountain pass, and then spend several days with these people you don't know that well, I don't think I would have done it or even could have done it. I don't think I had the emotional energy to create the thing that I needed in that moment. I needed to plan it, or in this case, have my dear friend plan it for me long before I actually needed it. And isn't that often the case? When we're in a rut, it's so hard to muster the energy to get out of that rut. We need to make plans for ourselves before we need what we've planned. I hope that makes sense. I think that's part of what it means to live intentionally. It's not filling every minute of the calendar, but making sure that the things that matter to us actually get onto that calendar. I don't want to make too much out of one camping trip. I'm sure I'm still going to have days when I feel down, and I definitely don't want to fill my calendar so full that I need a vacation from retirement. But this trip reminded me that my world can so easily get small without me noticing. But I need people. I need new experiences. I need occasionally hard things that push me outside my comfortable little radius. I need to keep growing and keep becoming the person I can be in this third act. Oh, and I also realized I think I really like camping. RV camping, that is. I will probably leave my tent behind, but my third act just might feature a transition to more back-friendly RV camping. I'm Deb with Third Act by Design. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video.